Hey, welcome back to Change the Odds, the podcast where marriage and family were never meant to be a game of chance. My name is Kevin Thompson. Adrienne Neufeld.
Hello?
No Blaine.
I know.
That's a shame.
I know.
He's actually working, unlike us.
Who would have thought?
But today, we have a special guest.
Yes.
And we don't have many special guests. We just normally have normal guests.
Right. This one's super special.
Andrew Stanley, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy to be here.
You've been here in the
Yes.
past, but haven't been qualified to be on the Change the Odds, the podcast.
So I took care of that. I got my certifications.
There's an actual paperwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Did your dad, who signed that? Was that your dad?
My dad was the officiant.
What was that like? Was that odd?
No, I mean, he did my brother and sisters, so it's kind of
Okay.
an obligation. I mean, it'd be weird if I was like, hey,
Family
Louis, you wanna
business.
come do
What? That would have been great, though. That would have been hilarious.
But no, we did get married in North Carolina, so we had to drive to like a small random town to get our marriage license.
Yeah.
Had to go to Franklin, North Carolina.
Why'd you get married in North Carolina?
Just the venue we liked.
Okay.
It's only 2 hours north of where we live,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it technically is in North Carolina.
So, I mean, most people are already going to know who you are, but let's kind of go through the
obviously.
history a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about you did a great set last night here. We're in the middle of our Thrive conference, and so that's
Yes.
why we literally just walked off stage. So I grew up listening to your grandfather preach. I talked about last night how literally, I don't think I'm in the ministry without him. I'm sure you hear that all the time, actually, because he was my model of what preaching is supposed to be like. And so Charles Stanley, First Baptist Atlanta, classic. Then Andy comes along. So much of how we model church work is off your dad and who he is and what he's all about. I would say probably the best communicator in America of this generation. And now you came along.
Now there's the third guy.
Kevin's
Yeah, well,
really
and then
aging
we'll see.
himself. yeah.
We'll see what people say about him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was it like growing up in that legacy kind of family?
I think they made it as, I mean, people ask me that a lot, and I never felt weird. I never felt special. I mean, I did, but I knew people would come up to us at dinner and thank my dad, but I don't know. It just never felt that weird. And I think my dad grew up in a similar situation with my granddad being, renowned pastor. And I think he just tried to intentionally make it as not weird as possible. There was not a lot of like, hey, everybody, we got to sit down and talk about how we're going to handle all of our people. Like other kids first of all, didn't care.
Yeah.
Like nobody at school is like giving me special treatment. I had a few teachers. I was homeschooled until high school. Went to high school, and I never forget freshman year. It was one of my first classes ever. Was biology, and the biology teacher went to my dad's church, and he was so upset because the state was going to make him teach me evolution.
The pressure.
I don't know if he did this for all his classes, but like the week we got to like those chapters, he like did like a speech. He goes, "Just wanted to let everybody know the state of Georgia says I have to teach this, but it does not mean that I agree with it." And I think he was like making eye contact with me the whole time he was
just to
saying
make
that.
sure.
He was like, "Tell your dad that I don't really believe about this."
Oh, that's funny.
And I was like, "Listen, dude, I don't even know any of the other science either." So
Yeah. Did you feel pressure growing up? So we had my son on recently, and he hates being a pastor's kid. So
Yeah.
I have a daughter who loves it, expects to walk into every room, and everybody knows her. My
Yeah.
son can't stand it. And this is with me in an insignificant way. You are nationally, like literally internationally known. Your grandfather and your dad. Was there ever a pressure there of, I have to make sure I'm the perfect Christian? Or
definitely some pressure. I did always feel and still do feel like I have to represent my family in a way that I think everybody feels that to a degree. But when your family is public facing, you realize, I reflect on not just me, but also my family. But I also like would wrestle with that of like in growing up, it's like, well, we should all feel that way about God.
Right.
We should all feel like I'm a reflection
Yes.
of Christianity and Jesus. And so if you focus on that, then it kind of trumps the family stuff because it's aligned. Like the things that make Jesus look good also make my family look good.
Yeah.
So it was sometimes I would be like, all right, I'm making good decisions, but is it because I'm scared? I want to make sure my dad looks good or Jesus looks good. And it can be a little confusing.
Right.
Yeah.
Blurry
Because
line.
it is like I'm representing a lot of different things
Yes.
that are kind of the same, but shouldn't be.
oh yeah,
So I don't know if that answers the question, but I would feel a little bit of that. But in general, like I never have felt negative about being in a family like this. I've always say like there are some weird things, but there's way more good things than bad things.
Yeah.
that's cool.
So I feel like it's more benefits than not.
So in my mind, and I don't spend a lot of time pondering this, but in my mind, I see Andy Stanley like giving the perfect sex talk at each at each stage along the way
Yeah.
of making sure I'm just like it's in the
Flawless.
book. Here's
Yeah.
how you do this. Well, what's your memories of those types of conversations?
My memories of that, I remember we went through a book, and I remember it was Every Young Man's Battle.
Oh,
I think
there we
is
go.
what it's
That's been
called.
canceled now, but okay.
Has it?
It has.
Oh, no, tell me.
Yeah.
What
I
is
don't,
it?
Can I tell you off air?
What
No.
did I learn?
No,
that's
well, it's the idea of we have maybe
Over-prioritized?
positioned that
Sure.
like making it sound like every guy is like a porn addict,
Right.
And it's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, I think that's how I learned about porn. I was like,
Yes.
oh, that sounds cool. I was like,
Great book.
I didn't even know to want to do that.
Now you're trying to
You're
find
telling me
ways to
that's out
search.
there?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then what was the other one that got the I Kissed Dating Goodbye?
Oh.
Got canceled.
Yeah.
We didn't read that one. I'm just saying that's another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had read that.
Yeah.
No, but I for a few moments I remember listening to music that had like the F word in it. And I remember one time I was in the car with my dad and I said, "Dad, does the F word mean sex?" And I remember he just goes, "No."
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh, okay,
that's
cool."
not my experience, but
And
okay.
Then later I was like, "I think it does." But no, he was very intentional. I think my brother and I about, at certain times, like being like, all right, we're going to learn about this. If you ever have any questions, it's not weird. I don't remember a lot of specifics about how we talked about things.
Yeah.
But he definitely didn't ignore it, which I think a lot of dads do. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I think he said that he didn't really get a talk from my granddad.
Oh, well, we now have the reel for Instagram on this.
I don't know.
The title is going to be "How did Charles Stanley tell Andy Stanley about
You'll have
sex?"
to ask him. I feel like he told me something like, I really want to make sure that you're comfortable talking with me about this because I don't think my dad and I ever really talked.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm making that up. So,
No, I like it
can't
better.
Forget that.
I like how you said you should ask him as though I'm going to go call.
Yeah. When you guys have him in a few weeks on this podcast,
He's
Yeah.
not coming to
when you're on
Bayside.
his leadership podcast,
I would love. Andy's been here before, but I mean, as you've experienced, it's a wee bit chaotic here at
Yeah.
Bayside.
well, you guys
Not
have,
so much at North Point.
Well, a lot of times when you go speak at things like this, you have your own green room, and people are like, "Do you need some privacy before you go on stage in 30 seconds?"
Yes.
And I've never been asked that here.
No, we have none. We have
No
none of that. We love
privacy.
you. We love you in the room.
I'll say it's so fun. And I feel like I'm better going on stage out of chaos. Like I like that it's
Oh.
like,
That's
hey, you're
good.
on in 20 seconds, by the way. And I'm like, oh, my notes. We're like, all right, well, let's just go.
Yeah.
And it's such a warm, fun group out there that I feel comfortable not going out there with like here's exactly what I'm going to say, and here's
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean,
it's-
your first set
The
yesterday.
culture here is unique and fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Your first set
Yeah.
yesterday. Literally, you heard the phrase "sex robots,"
Yeah.
and then by the way, here's Andrew Stanley.
Yeah, no, you guys. Well, that sounds hard, but I mean, I do shows at churches all the time. I've gone after death announcements. I've gone after presentations on fatherlessness in the community.
Okay.
I was at a men's conference in Texas somewhere, and before me, they were talking about like their mentoring program for men in the community, and it was these guys and these little kids, these teenagers bringing him up and saying, we started meeting, he's never known his dad, but now, on stage, they're like, you're my dad. The way everybody's crying. It's this emotional thing. And I'm backstage just like, am I allowed to make fun of this when I come out? Because I
Right.
have to transition from this to comedy.
Yeah.
And the most natural way is to poke fun at it, but it feels too important
Yeah.
and great. And then I think I did.
Yeah.
And I think you have to find a way the church comedy world is great because you have to find a way to transition out of crazy things.
So, oh yeah, that would be.
But here they're fun crazy things.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Like the car. You threw that in.
Yeah, they gave away a car right
That was-
before me
yeah,
yesterday. That
yeah.
was great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was like, all right, how do I?
Yeah.
We're kind of 2 for 2. Our two of our last. We have a campus at Folsom Prison.
Yeah.
2 of our last guys who got released that have come now to campus. We've given both of them cars, which
Uh-oh.
my fear is: are we setting an expectation
Yeah.
now?
I think we are.
by,
Yeah.
by our brothers in Folsom Prison. And do we have some people in the audience going, "I could go do a little bit of time if this is what it's
If
going
I'm
to
going
do"?
to get a car.
You go to prison just for the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. I do think that it's good incentive for people to attend the program in prison. It's like, hey, listen, if you go to enough of these and then you get out, they might give
There's a
you
chance.
a Mazda.
There's a chance. So Adrienne, I mean, so you're the most famous comedian I've ever met until this moment. But what's
it, Andrew.
What's it like? I mean, so you love what he does. You pursued after that.
Yeah. I actually
yourself.
got to open for you
I know.
2 years ago. It was like my first real. I don't know why. I shouldn't have gotten that spot, but
It went well, though, didn't it?
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to know sometimes.
I feel like I remember that it went great.
It was fun.
And I was like, can't wait to talk to her in 2 years to see how far she's come.
And guess what? I haven't done
How
it in
far
a
have you
year.
come, Adrienne?
I haven't done it since last Thrive because I kind of got, Anyways, it didn't go as well last
Here's the
year.
thing.
But
When you're starting out doing stand-up, you have to have no other responsibilities. Like,
and that
no
is
one
hard as a mom.
No one can be relying on you because
It's
the
so hard.
hours are, all right, this Monday there's a show that starts at 10 p.m. and it's probably not going to be worth it, but I need to go anyway.
Right.
And then Wednesday I'm going to go put my name in a bucket to see if they
I don't
pull
know
me out for 5 minutes in front of a bad crowd, and it's 50-50 if I'll even go on stage or if
I
I just
know.
sit in this room. And then Saturday, I just need to go watch the headliner at the club, see if I can learn anything, and show the club owner that I'm around.
Yeah.
Remind them I exist.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I probably need to do the same thing. And it's just a lot of things that only 5% of the time will it actually even be worth it. And trying to sell that to someone who
It's hard.
craves time with you
Yeah.
it's not even the right thing to do.
Right.
So I'm tell Anna all the time, like, I'm so glad that I put in those, years when before we met, and then also while you were in law school and were just as busy as me. Because starting stand up when you're already, it's possible, and you can't. I know people that do it, and
Yeah.
it's hard. But I'm
know.
grateful that I started when I was 23 and nobody cared what I was doing.
Yeah. But the brilliance, I give this advice all the time to young guys who are musicians. You've done a brilliant thing. If you want to be a comedian, marry a lawyer. So now at least that part is kind of taken care of
pressure's off.
until you become.
Yeah. It was fun when I was, I was in corporate finance and was doing just comedy at night. And that's when I met Anna. She was in law school. I had a day job, cubicle, Joseph A. Bank shirts every day. And then I would, take off my costume and go to the club at night in a t-shirt. And, but right as I was, getting to be 26 and really need the health insurance my company was giving me was when it was like I was out of vacation days because I was finally starting to travel to do stand-up. And I was like, all right,
yeah.
I guess. I told Anna, I go, we've been dating like a year, and I was like, what do you think I should do? She's like, quit your job. And I was like, all right, that's not good. And I go to my parents. I'm like, Dad, I should stay at my job, right? And he was like, no, you don't like your job. Do the thing you like. And I'm like, dang it.
Wow.
Everybody's like,
You're like,
oh,
I guess
so
I'll
supportive.
do it. Yeah.
I know. Can somebody just give me some reasonable, safe advice?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where does your humor come from? Because I mean, I get it feels like maybe not necessarily the guys you hang around with. It feels like so many comedians are well known to being extremely dysregulated, have very difficult backgrounds, and somewhat melancholy, and then again get on stage and make fun of it because they feel so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you brag about your upbringing, being healthy, having a healthy upbringing.
I know.
Where does the comedy come from?
That was one of my things. I'm like, I have no trauma. What can I pull from? I was like, I had a really great
Yeah.
childhood, and so
Blame.
did you. It's
only
right.
blame.
Now it's like
Well,
he golfs. Yeah.
I told my parents all the time, I go, if you guys had been worse parents, I would be such a better comedian.
That's exactly what I
It's like,
think.
come on. You thought you were giving me a gift. You're really robbing me of a great career.
No testimony. What do we have?
I think the trauma or like the hard or like the quirk thing for comedy or artists in general, it is like true for a lot of people, but it's not as true. It's a stereotype that is there for a reason, but it's not like most of my best friends in comedy had a pretty nice life. Like it's not like you have to go through things to get to where you're good at stand up. So, and you also have to have some space in your life to fill with it.
Yeah.
Like nobody's like, I have a jam-packed, content, great life where I'm happy with every aspect, and I think I'm now going to try stand up.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any of this heavy trauma stuff, or who knows, maybe in a few years I'll be like, actually I did.
Yeah,
And I just have been burying it, but I don't know of any. But I did have a weird life. It helped me that I felt like I had a unique situation growing up. Like I was homeschooled, preacher, big mega church preacher family. So I at least felt like I had interesting things to talk about. But I also felt like so much of comedy is being relatable to people. And a lot of people have nice, upbringings and can make fun of their parents for things, but it's not like they hate each other and it's not like something happened to them. And so the type of comedy I do is a lot of stories about growing up, a lot of stories about marriage and having kids, and it's just relatable. And if you can take something that's relatable and add a unique comedic spin to it, that's like people want that.
Yeah.
So
Does your wife think you're funny? Do you tell her all your jokes? Like, do you practice in front of her?
yeah, I will usually run something by her. She always goes, I don't really like stand-up comedy.
Oh, great.
I'm just like, oh, cool, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She goes, I like you, but like we watch Netflix specials. She goes, I don't like this at all.
That is so
She has
interesting.
very specific taste. She's
Yeah.
like, she loves John Mulaney. She loves, that's kind of the one she says. She goes, I like you and John Mulaney. Everybody else is like, she loves Leanne Morgan. She's become a friend.
That's one.
And she likes, she gets it for other people too.
You're like
but-
who Mulaney would be if he never got addicted to cocaine.
Yeah, I'm like the preacher's kid, John Mulaney. I do get it. People tell me I look like him sometimes. I think if I had to say like my 3 influences like on stage, I think I have some Nate in me. I have some John Mulaney, and I have a little bit of Mark Norman of his kind of voice thing. Those are the 3 that I get. If you're like, oh, you kind of remind me of them.
How has marriage kind of changed? So you get married, what was it, 4 years ago?
Yeah, September will be 4 years.
It's a test, Andrew.
Crazy.
So, I mean, what's your anniversary date? Do you have one?
It's,
I like how
I do get it mixed up.
you're
It's
looking upward right now.
September 24th, 2022.
Okay.
But sometimes I get it mixed up. I go September
2020.
24th.
Yeah.
September 22nd, because that's the year.
So
Yeah.
And it's on the inside of my
Just so you
inside
don't
of my wedding
forget.
band, which I was like, won't this be romantic? And it's really just helped me remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
smart.
So in common world, you actually got married young, 30.
Yeah.
In the world we grew up in, I grew up in Arkansas, you grew up in Georgia, that's way late.
Oh, yeah.
So what was it like around the church and around the house early on in those years that you're in college? Everybody's like, oh, here it comes, and nothing happens.
Yeah, I went to Auburn too, which is like got to be the youngest marriages in the world. Like everybody was like found their girlfriend or boyfriend freshman year. You date all 4 years and ring by spring, senior year.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like so many. But we would like 3 weeks after graduation. I went to one of my friends' weddings.
Oh, wow.
And so that was very normal. And I didn't even really date that much in college. I mean, I had I had like 2 girlfriends, but not for long. Totally my decision. But like I just never.
It was a
felt-
conscious choice, not yours, but a choice nonetheless.
I guess I don't even know why I felt this way, but I did not feel like that's what I was gonna do, and I didn't crave that like some of my friends did. And I think at Auburn, people kept saying this phrase, like, "Man, these are gonna be the best 4 years of your life." Yeah. And I just remember feeling so sad about that. I'd be like, "Oh no, it's now."
Yeah,
Like
it's only going to get worse.
I had the best time in college up to that point. Like those were the best 4 years of my life. But I just never felt like after this, we just start doing the family thing because there's nothing in between. There's nothing between college and family. And I don't know why, because I didn't have anything lined up. I didn't know I was going to be good at stand-up comedy. But I just felt like there's got to be a season of being, single or at least an adult with a job that doesn't immediately have all these responsibilities. So
Are your siblings older or younger?
younger.
Okay.
And,
Did they get married before you, or?
they both got married before me. My brother got married pretty much right after college. It was for him. It was just he found his exact right person, and it was just made a lot of. He was not trying to, I don't think, but I think some people you get intercepted by the best possible situation. And then my sister after seminary, so yeah, kind of right after graduate school. But I don't know. I never felt pressure from inside the house. My dad was 30 when he married my mom.
Oh.
So I think in the back of my mind too, I always had like my dad got married when he was 30. But I met Anna when I was probably 26 or 27, and she was in law school. And she told me on our first date, like not even that marriage came up, but she was like, I don't want to get married till I'm 30. Because I got this big career plan. I'm going to graduate law school. I'm going to get a job at this law firm. I want to have a career, and then I want to start a family. And both those things are very important to me. But I know that if you do the family too early, then the career becomes harder to get off the ground. Similar to stand-up, I guess. She's always planning, big planner, way ahead. We fall in love, and she's like, all right, I may not have to wait all the way till 30, but she at least wanted to get through law school.
Yeah.
She would go,
Fair.
I don't want to plan a wedding while I'm studying for the bar exam, or while I don't want to plan a wedding while I'm in law school. And I would say, well, that's great, because I don't want to plan a wedding until I'm sure you're going to graduate from law school and get a great job at a law firm.
I don't want that debt on me.
Yeah. So we were both kind of on the same page, and we did date, longer than most Christian couples date. And I remember
How long did y'all date?
I mean, like 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think.
That's
I don't know.
a
I'm
lot.
bad at math. But I remember I would do this conference in Phoenix every year, and the pastor's wife one day was just like, "So how long have you and your girlfriend been dating?" And I was like, "Oh, 3 years." And she goes, "That's a lot of dating." And I was like, "Thanks. Yeah, it's going great." But
So
yeah, I
how?
think we dated 3 years. Then we had a year plus engagement. So
Okay, yeah.
I don't know exactly.
So does she have the typical lawyer concept of like everything direct and can be improved? And does she critique you? Does she
Yeah.
critique your
Well,
job?
she's also Colombian, and the Latinas are not known for their subtlety
Okay.
either.
Very
So
like
she's got the
direct.
double whammy. She's the Colombian attorney. So the nice thing is you never have to wonder how she feels or what she thinks because she knows immediately how she feels about something. She'll see a piece of furniture and she'll that's not going to work in our house. And I'm like, well, let's think about it for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So I do test material on her, especially if it's about her.
Yeah. And she's open. She's okay with like,
She's so okay with it.
yeah.
I mean, if you're at the show last night,
More
there's
okay than
not
I
a
could
lot of-
imagine.
There's not a lot of.
No,
I mean,
she's a good sport.
she's a good sport.
Yeah.
And well, for a while it was funny. Like I would be traveling and I wouldn't have a lot of jokes about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd go, "You need to have at least one bit about me so women know that you're in a
that's
Taken.
relationship."
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Which is fair. Like on stage, people that we weren't engaged or married, so just up there with no ring on.
So you
just-
now,
Yeah.
for those that haven't seen it, I mean, you did, a 5 to 7 minute bit last night on her breast augmentation.
yeah,
Which
oh,
is
yeah.
hilarious.
Is the first time I've ever come out on stage to close something following 7 minutes of jokes about breast augmentation.
Yep.
Right. So did that become inserted because of inserted is a bad phrase there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
7.
Was
It
that her choice from the standpoint of to have that in your bit, or did you try it out and then say, "Hey, I got this thing"?
I remember one day we were talking and I was just like, we were doing dishes or something, and I was like, I just thought of like the funny. It was in the midst of her going through that like process of like, which is crazy. It's a crazy process. You go and you sit in a room and you just watch a guy feel up your wife for like an hour, being like, "It'd be nice if you did that," and I'm just like, "Hey, you guys need my help over there?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what's going on? But I remember I just was thinking of jokes naturally because it's just a funny
Yes.
situation. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's funny to me how uncomfortable I am. And the joke's always about me at the end of the day. It's about how I'm feel like.
Yeah.
You got to put yourself in every joke because the audience will connect with it more because you're the one telling it. So they want to know where are you
Your
in it. Even if you're
perspective.
telling a joke about something else, it helps if they're seeing it through your eyes. So the more you can kind of. So I'm just thinking I was so uncomfortable the whole time, but I was also excited. And that's just like a funny combination of emotions.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's usually a place that's good for comedy. And so I remember, I don't even remember what the first part of the joke was, but I remember I mentioned it to her and I was like, I could never do this on stage, but like, this is funny. She goes, "You can do that on stage." I'm like,
Oh.
"I can?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, try it." And I start trying it. It's one of those that works immediately.
Oh
Yeah.
And
And
you're
I
like-
heard you do it 2 years ago too. And
Yeah.
you got like huge laughs last night as well. So it's a great
Well,
joke.
I forgot I did it 2 years ago, and Brennan was yesterday. He was like, "Man, I think the best joke ever been told at this conference was when you did the boob job thing
Yeah.
last year." I was like, "I did that here."
Well, because
Like,
I don't think you were planning on it, but same as last night, you were like, "Oh, you guys are fun, so I'm going to try this one on you."
I forgot how great this audience. They don't care at all.
No.
I was so. I rarely ever do that one in a church because I'm just
Oh,
trying to
really?
be respectful to who hired me, and
Yeah.
I always have the mindset of I don't. First of all, most of my materials all fine for pretty much wherever.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I'm like, even if 70% of the audience, it'll be their favorite thing. If it makes 15% kind of like that's fine, but if it makes even a little percentage uncomfortable or wish they didn't come or feel like awkward, then it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
If it's my show and I'm selling tickets, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and
Right.
you build a fan base of people that like the stuff you do.
Your own show, is it like clean? All of it?
Yeah, I mean that's the edgiest bit I have.
Can you
Okay,
imagine
okay.
it not being clean?
Well,
Like
no,
I'm
I can't, but I'm,
Well,
I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all clean. I mean, my goals. I'm in churches enough that
Yeah.
holds me accountable. I always want to write stuff that'll work at an event like this.
Well, that's
But
what they
then
say, yeah.
I'm also in comedy clubs the rest of the time, and I want to make sure it's funny enough and relatable enough to
It's a
not
hard
just
tension.
a church audience.
Yeah.
And so it's helpful to have kind of a constraint of like I'm writing and stuff that's funny enough for here and clean enough for here, and then that kind of helps.
You can do it
me-
anywhere.
Helps me have an act that's appealing to a big group of people that
Yeah.
don't feel served
Yeah.
and maybe in either direction.
Yeah.
How has marriage? I mean, has it added content? I mean, I assume that part has.
Sure.
But because fun is such an important part of marriage, just in general. How does outsider looking in, probably in the same way of your family growing up, outsider looking in, they're like, this is probably the most spiritual family ever. It's not. It's just a normal family.
Pretty normal.
Outsider looking in, oh, they must laugh constantly. What does it feel like for y'all?
I mean, it is fun. It's fun. It's not like I'm just making her laugh all the time, but she does think I'm funny, and I'll get home from the road and I'll be like, here's what happened. She'll be like, you have to make that a bit. You got to tell that story. There's some stories that I've told her that she's like, you need to do that on stage. And I'm hesitant because I'm like, I don't know if it works. Like, I don't know if it works as like a stage story. And she's like, come on, here, you got to do it. So she's very like on board and wants to be a part of it and is encouraging to me about that stuff. But it's not like we're just jokes bouncing off the wall all the time.
Everyone's laughing all the time.
Yeah.
Does she ever? I mean, has she been I mean, you don't have to go in detail if you don't want to, but has she ever looked at a joke that you've done and she's like, "No, we're not doing that one anymore"?
Not like a whole joke. Very fairly, she will sometimes be like, "Hey, can you phrase that differently? Because that makes me look like a really, whatever." Like I remember, there's a bit I have about us getting massages together, and the bit is about her being assertive and I'm not assertive, and it's about her asking, constantly asking the masseuse to like, hey, can you do more of this, less of that, more of this, less of that, and I'm over in my chair just like, I did not even know we're allowed to talk to them.
Yeah.
But if I phrase that wrong, it can make her look like a a not good person, like somebody who's just like demanding and like all that stuff. She's like, if you still do it, maybe you can phrase it and make me look like less of a bad guy. And I'm like, fair, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But for the most part, she's just like, don't make me look like a bad person.
Oh yeah,
Which is pretty reasonable request.
I think, I don't think you do.
I'm trying to think of other examples. It's fun to highlight how we're different. And sometimes if I'm not careful, it can make me look like the good guy and her the bad guy instead of just that we're different.
Yeah.
But no, for the most part, she's pretty comfortable with whatever. Part of that is the Latin culture. Like they're very like not private people. Like they're very like, even in terms of like the boob job thing, she's like, in my culture, like that's not weird to talk about. That's like people are proud of what they did. They're like, oh yeah, I got lip filler the other day, and here's why. That's it's just not like in the South, like especially the South where I grew up in Georgia and where you grew up, like that. If a woman does that, it is not a topic of conversation, probably even with her friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't really talk about
It's
it.
a don't ask, don't
Everyone
tell.
knows.
Everybody knows.
But
And they all talk about it behind your back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's not. But in the Latin culture, they're just like so open.
That's really cool, actually.
And they're way more comfortable with conflict, which is great for me, good for me to see. My Anna will be on the phone, and talking in Spanish. Sounds like a heated conversation with like somebody, and I don't even know who she's talking to. I'm like, who are you just fighting with?
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I was just talking to my aunt. I'm like, yo, we're not fighting. She's like, no. I'm like, oh well, I've never spoken to anyone with that cadence before in my life.
Yeah.
But they're just passionate. They get fired up and it's not weird.
I feel like Anna and Andrew are the same Enneagram combination of me and Jenny. That it's
I know. I was thinking
it's a
too.
6
Like,
and a 1.
Does Jenny tell you to say things differently?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so.
She doesn't really eliminate much of anything, but it will be, hey, phrase it in this different way, or
critique a little bit.
And I always it's always I got to be the bad guy. She has to be the good. She's not on stage.
That's one of your like golden rules.
Oh yeah. I never make a joke about her at her expense. It's always I'm the idiot. She's the brilliant one.
Yeah,
and that works better on stage anyway. Like that's
I like how you
I
like how you just said jokes as if I'm a comedian. It's
we're
it's the greatest compliment you've ever given me, Adrienne.
You are funny. You guys you're funny. When you go into like a circle of, like just a hangout, do you feel like you always have to be the funny guy? Like, do you struggle with that identity of like, funny's my thing? Because one time someone followed me on Instagram and we went to dinner, and I was also pregnant, so I wasn't like my best self. But after the dinner, I heard she was like, "Oh, she's like,
oh, they were disappointed."
Yeah, they were disappointed with me. They're like,
she was just like a regular person. What's going on?
Yeah, she's not as funny at all. I'm like, well, yeah, Instagram's like a character.
Didn't know you wanted a bit.
I know. I don't
I did like 6 versions of that video before it was right.
100%. There's editing, so I don't know. Do you ever like feel that tension?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to let yourself off the hook. I always it's probably not healthy. I'm so much more comfortable around people if I know they've seen me perform.
Because then they know,
Because
like,
then
your thing.
they know I'm funny. I don't have to feel like I have to prove it, or they're
Yeah.
like, is this guy good? Or like,
Yeah.
there's just a comfortableness that comes with like they saw me do the thing that I'm the best at,
Right.
and then the pressure's kind of off.
Mm-hmm.
Anna and I have a bunch of friends that we made right around when she was pregnant, and we kind of got pulled into this new friend group in Atlanta. A lot of people our age that live in the area we live in that have young kids, and we've started like that's become kind of our new friend group.
Great. Yeah.
And it was like she became friends with all these women, and then I'm meeting all the husbands. And
Yeah.
a lot of them are a little bit older, and they're these guys that own their own kind of buying and selling companies, and it's just a very impressive kind of business mindset group. And then they're meeting me, and they're like, "This is Anna's husband. He's a comedian."
I think that's the coolest thing.
Well, they're also interested in it. They're asking me
Yeah.
questions, but we've been friends. I've been friends with these guys for about almost a year.
Yeah.
And then finally, I do a recurring show at this club in Alpharetta, Georgia. I call it Andrew Stanley Has Friends, and it's me, and then I bring 4 friends to stand up. And
Oh, that's so cool.
I prove that I have friends, and we have a good show.
That's great.
We do it once every few months, so we invited all of our friends to come to it, and it was a great, awesome show. I brought up Jeff Foxworthy at the end as a surprise. So it was like the most impressive. Like I did well. All the
That's
comedians
a flex
did great.
of a friend.
Big comedy legend at the end. Everybody's like, And so after the show, my friends are coming up to me. We already like each other. We hang out. We've been on trips together. Like it's not like it's a good relationship. But they were like, Andrew, you're like the real.
You're like a big deal.
Like, oh, this isn't like a fun little thing for you. Like you could tell they were like, oh.
Everybody felt bad for Anna previously. Like, her husband doesn't have a real job.
They're like,
comedian.
we get it now. They're like, oh, you're great. This is fun.
And you're like, yeah,
but
I know.
Can you imagine though how stressful it would be to become friends with someone who is a stand-up comedian, and you maybe saw a clip on Instagram or something, but you're like, man, and then you're going to their show and you're like, man, if this is not good, I will not be able to look at them the same.
Yeah.
It's a whole episode of Seinfeld. Remember where the girlfriend didn't like Jerry's act? And
exactly.
He was so offended. What do you mean you don't like my act?
Well, it's like the thing I'm most proud of. I've worked the hardest on, and you get to come to work and see exactly how good I am at my job. And that will affect a relationship. Yeah. So that you could tell they enjoyed the show, but they were so relieved.
You're like, oh, thank goodness he's good.
That it went well.
They were afraid they're gonna have to get a new friend.
Yeah.
And now they're like, So you definitely do feel different dynamics with people if they've seen you before, if they haven't, or even like last night at the bonfire thing we went to. It's like, like I need to try to make sure I say at least a few funny things.
Right. Yeah.
But also that's fun. But
yeah.
It is a pressure, but you try not to.
But you're not like always the same person in a bonfire that you're on stage.
Not even close.
No, because that's a whole act. Like it's an act.
Yeah, it's literally your act. Yeah. Thankfully, my onstage persona, sense of humor is similar to my offstage, which some people is not as aligned.
Right.
And it's really hard
you're not a Bob Saget, is what you're saying.
That's Robin Williams, Bob Saget. People bringing their kids to see him, and it's the dirtiest act you've ever seen.
Yeah.
That can be hard. But even like, I think about a guy like Larry the Cable Guy who's kind of doing a character on stage and off stage. Do you turn it on when you meet people, or do you be like, hey, I'm Dan? Like I don't know him, but I imagine that's a different type of tension to feel.
How hard is it to deal with other people who are trying to prove they're funny to you?
That happens. I don't mind it. I'm comfortable with people trying to be funny. Like that's like I like that. Like I think even if it doesn't work, I think it's like it's a vulnerable thing to do.
Yeah.
It's vulnerable to try to be funny to people in a way where they know you're trying.
Well, and that's the hard thing about comedy is like you're constantly failing in front of people.
Yeah.
All the time. You have to.
That's the gig.
Yeah.
It's like fail to learn. Failure is feedback.
How'd you get over that? Because
yes, please tell us.
That's a comment I've had before for people of you can't be funny because you're not willing to not be funny. Because you have to be willing to not be funny in order to maybe find something that actually is.
Yeah. I think it helps. It helped me to realize that everybody at this open mic is trying new stuff and nobody's batting 1,000. And if you're batting 1,000, then you're not taking enough risks. And it's hard to not do well and get off stage and be like, wow, everybody here doesn't like me. That just saw me. Like everybody's just like, oh. And I don't know, you get a little desensitized to it because you realize when I'm trying new stuff, it's just not always going to work, and it shouldn't. You have to have enough stuff that works to still feel good about yourself. Like when I started out, thankfully I had a few things that worked.
Yeah.
And so if half my set went well, half went bad, I was like, awesome, half my set went well. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah, it's like a positive. Yeah.
But the biggest thing that helped me get on stage, and I don't know, I want to hear about how you got on for the first time, but like I knew I was going to do an open mic, and so I went to just watch one. And it's, 25 comedians doing 5 minutes each, and all you had to do is sign your name to get on the list. And I remember watching it and being like, oh, I won't be the worst. Like
some of them are
like some of these are
bad.
just crazy people that
Yeah.
just show up and sign their name and
Yeah.
talk, it doesn't even make sense.
That's how I got through grad school.
Yeah.
I picked one professor that it was an idiot, and I'm like, well, they got their degree, so
Yeah.
surely I can get my degree.
Yeah, there you go. That's the best way.
Ah.
Find somebody that's
Very bad.
bad.
Yeah.
then
And compare
realize-
yourself to
Do you
them.
remember your
yourself to
first
them.
joke? I mean, the first true joke that was yours that you wrote.
I do. Yeah, it was one that I still have. It'll be in the special that comes out this year. So it wasn't a good version of it, but it grew. It stayed in. Like the
I love
concept of it stayed in. I probably did it here, at one of these conferences before, but it's the idea. I did it at my mom's 50th birthday party because it was like we did a big party and people were like giving speeches, and I was like, I'm gonna go tell this funny idea I thought of, which the premise was that. My mom, when she's getting older, because it was her 50th birthday party, so that was like the premise.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, we're gonna have to put her in a nursing home one day, but that's too expensive. So I think what I'm gonna do when the time comes is just frame her for a crime, have her go to prison. That's a free nursing home. So the concept was free nursing home is prison. And then it's like, well, it's kind of the same, you got a roommate, you don't know, but nobody remembers why they're there. Like, I don't. Your kids don't visit as much as they said they would.
Yeah.
And then it was the big punchline at the end that would really work, that helped me early on to have something I felt like really worked, is I would do all these homeschool jokes. Then I would go back and I would say, but for being honest with myself, it's not just a money thing. I think I'm still upset with her for homeschooling me. And I feel like that's pretty fair. I didn't get to go to real schools. She doesn't get to go to real nursing home.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that kind of tied it in. It was a
Yeah.
callback, and it would, even if the joke didn't work, that thing at the end would get a laugh, and you'd be like, all right, thanks, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
If you can get off on a laugh,
Oh,
Yeah.
it
Yes,
kind of
it-
heals the wounds from other
Yes.
stuff not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And so having something like that would work at the end. But even at my mom's birthday party, I remember people were like, that's a pretty funny idea.
Oh, there you go.
And
So how has it been? You're on the road a lot. I mean, this is my guess. I mean, I don't know. I play an expert on the internet, but not in real life. My guess is a lot of comedians don't have great marriages
yeah,
because of the schedule,
I'm
the
always
pattern
terrified.
of what's happening. What's it been like? How do y'all stay connected? How does she support you yet without it being one-sided? If it's
Yeah.
always we're chasing Andrew's dream and never Anna's dream, that's going to be a
Especially
problem.
now because you have a daughter, right?
Yeah, it gets harder. The more people you love, the harder it gets to leave. I used to want to be on the road like 300 nights a year, and now it's like, God, I gotta leave again. You're exactly right. I always say, like, in terms of like being a good husband, being a good dad in the comedy world, there's just a lot more bad examples than good examples. So anytime I meet somebody that's a good example, I'm like, tell me everything. And two guys that I talk to a lot about it. One of them is Foxworthy. He kind of famously would, when he was at the height of his touring, he would literally just fly private. He would spend all the money to fly private and get off stage, go straight to the airport, fly home overnight, wake up, and make his daughter's breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, I heard him tell the
that's
story that
Financially,
of
that
that.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
that
but
the daughters didn't know. They didn't recognize.
No, they're never going to appreciate it till
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Like there's no way for them to understand. Well, the commercial flight cost this, and it would
Yeah.
have me home the next day at this time. But I played 17 times or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, obviously, not everybody's in a position to do that. But that mindset of
Priority.
I'm willing to not sleep in order to be able to do both of these things well.
Yeah.
And you have to sacrifice something.
Who was the second one?
The second one is my buddy Dustin Nickerson, who's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
He's getting, he's got a big career. He's
Yeah.
on the road selling out comedy clubs and is fantastic. He lives in San Diego.
He's clean too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's been a good friend for a long time. And he started having kids when he was like 20. So he and his wife got married like right after college, started having kids immediately. He has a kid in college now, and he's like, I want to say he's like 38 or something. Because they think they had their first when he was 20. So he's had kids and been married the whole time he's been doing stand-up. And he travels, probably more than me. He opens for Taylor Tomlinson. He's opening for Nate. He's opening
Wow.
for people. He's doing his own weekends at clubs. So
Can I just say that makes me so mad as
What's
a
it?
woman that I don't feel like the sacrifice is as available. It's like, oh, he did it while he has kids. Well,
Yeah.
Sorry,
not
that's
fair.
just a tangent.
Even-
no, I think it's very
It's
legit.
so fair. Well, even before talking about family stuff, my female comedy friends who are not married and have no commitments, traveling as much as we do, and especially doing the clubs, staying in the areas you have to stay in alone, traveling alone, driving
I
at
know.
night. I mean, rental cars, weird hotels. Like, it's just a dangerous, hard. Everything's a little harder.
Yeah.
Harder to win over an audience right away. Male
Yeah.
audiences are like, oh, it's a girl. Like, she better be good. Like, you have a harder. It's so much harder.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you for seeing me right now.
Good of a guy
I feel
am
seen.
to recognize that.
Yeah.
So 100%. And then with obviously like the mother versus father, like stereotypes, but also just the reality.
Yeah.
Like it's a stereotype, but also like a lot more is genuinely required of a mom.
Yeah,
than
and I
dad at
love
those ages.
that I get to raise my kids and like, I love that I get to be home with them. But there's that little piece where it's like, this is a sacrifice. And sometimes I feel a little resentful that my husband gets to go out. Just speaking for the women that are listening.
No, absolutely.
Totally.
Which is why I think in part, maybe there's other ways around that, but I do think there's a part of, all right, if we are sacrificing for his career early on when the kids are little and all those things, there needs to come a moment where that switches. That, okay, let's say the kids are out of the house. This is your season.
Yeah.
And so now I'm willing to sacrifice. What if my career takes a step back? What if we make some kind of sacrifice here? Because if it's just not equal. If it's always about his career, this is what I hate about ministry. If we're not very careful, a lot of guys like me will say, well, we move because we're the next church that's calling me. Well, there's sinners everywhere.
Right.
Why can't we go where she wants to live?
Yeah.
And then you do your work that's actually there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there can be a tendency of like, well, it's my job, so we just got to move but it's like, it's a lot, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do it well. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Our biggest tension in our marriage is probably the calendar and how many nights are we going to be on? What are we going to say yes to? What are we going to say no to? If we say yes to this, then if something else comes up in that month, are we just going to say no to it no matter what? Or well, we were going to say we filled up this month. It's got this many nights away, and we weren't going to do anything else, but we got a really good opportunity. Can I do it? What do you think? And then it's just a lot of hard decisions because you're either trading off an opportunity or trading off time at home, and it's just a balance and tension to manage.
Do you feel in comedy that there is a lifespan, that there's an arc that you can have, or do you feel like that it is something you can literally become a different funny over generations? I mean, obviously you have the Seinfeld examples of things like that that's just been funny forever, but it seems like comedians struggle for a long period of time, become extremely popular, and then they're playing the casino in Oklahoma on a Saturday night.
Yeah, social media's changed everything. So there's no like hard and fast rules of like, here's how it goes. But early on, it's demanding because it takes so much time and effort to get good at it. There's a reason there's not a lot of extremely successful, popular stand-up comedians in their 20s. Is because in your 20s, you're still learning how to do it to the level that it takes to become famous.
That, and you don't have the life experience that you kind of need.
Talk about exactly. You're in grad school for the first 10 years, and it's just, and you don't even know, there's no guarantee you're going to make it. You might put in all that work and then not make. Most of the time, people don't. And so it's a crazy thing to do because it's such a commitment, and you have to make so many sacrifices, just hoping that you will become funny enough and hoping that you'll connect with people in a way that allows you to continue to grow your career. I mean, the best comedians in the world are in their 40s and 50s, and they've been or older. I mean, you don't get less funny. You might get less relatable, or your audience might grow out of seasons of their life when they're available to buy ticket. It's also like the ticket buying audience. Like when people are in their 20s, they're not able to buy as expensive of a ticket. But so if your fan base is your age, you naturally your career will go better if you can keep the people your own age with you. Then that's a nice. You have that when you're in that sweet spot of 30 to 60 or whatever. Like that's the sweet spot for an audience. So that should kind of be the sweet spot of your career. You can have an urgency to like chase success if you have a big moment. You want to be able to capitalize on it. You want to be able to chase it. You want to be able to leverage it. But also like nothing can make you less funny. Like it's a bad example. It's funny like when comedians would get canceled or whatever. Like it doesn't make them less funny.
Yeah.
Like Bill Cosby, horrible guy. Turns out he was a terrible guy the whole time. The moment he got put in jail, he did not get any less funny. Like you can't take away someone's ability, and he's
Right.
probably, you know, we're not trying to say anything nice about that man, but like it's
This
funny
is
to
taking a
me-
turn I did not
it's
expect.
funny to me to think that.
Can we get back to the breast augmentation? 'Cause I'm more uncomfortable with this.
But like you can't make somebody less funny. So I think people get better as they go, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
And
no, that makes
I
sense.
would not buy a ticket to see
What?
Phil Collins.
Just,
For the
just a
record,
disclaimer: we do not
what
support.
What has parenting been like?
So fun.
How old is she now?
She is about 10 and a half months. I
Oh,
think. Yeah,
almost
today.
what?
Today, 10 and a half.
Oh,
She's
and you're not
16th.
there.
I'm not there
Oh,
for,
wow.
the big,
Sorry,
for the big
the
10
mom
and a
guilt.
half.
The mom guilt
we
took
said
over.
that to
Yeah.
you.
So sorry, I take that back.
It's funny.
You're making the money. You're
I have
providing.
some friends that like are comedian friends that are trying to do the same thing. And it's back to your question of like, how do you get it right? And like, how do you, and so the advice Dustin Nickerson gave me, I was like, how do you handle being gone so much and still be like a good parent? And he goes, you just have to accept that you are going to be gone and miss some things that other parents are there for. But if you do it right, you'll also be home for some things that other parents are not available for.
True.
When you're home, you can be all the way home. And he said, you know, when I'm in my hotel room for a day in between shows, I am trying to get everything done that I can so that when I'm home, I don't have to do it. I want to be when I'm on the plane, when I'm in the hotel room, when I have to be away from my family anyway. That's when I want to be as productive as possible, so that when I'm home, I can just be all the way home.
So he's
And
like writing in the hotel on the airplane. So when he's home, he's not divided.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't my rest time. This is my get stuff done. So when I'm home, I can be the best version when I'm home.
Yeah.
And so trying to have that type of mindset is important. And, you know, one thing we did, which, you know, Anna, obviously, I mentioned she's an attorney and she works at a big law firm and is busy in the office for a bunch of days. It's like, we just decided we're going to have a nanny. Because when I'm out of town, and she's going to live in our house. And so we have a nanny that lives with us. And it's like, if I'm going to, you know, it's expensive, but it's like, this is what will be a worthwhile sacrifice for us to be able to still be able to each pursue the things that we feel called to pursue.
Yeah.
And thankfully we're able to do that. But it gives me so much peace when I'm gone. No, Anna's not alone. Even we just have one child right now. It's like being alone, you know, like being alone with a baby is, you can't do anything else.
Nope.
Even when she's taking a nap, you're like, wait, that's when I wash the clothes. That's when I do this.
There's never really a break. Yeah.
And so I'm like, if I'm going to be gone this many nights a year, what can we do to make it to where it's, when I get home, she's not just like depleted. I can't just let her get depleted down to zero. And also I want her to be able to do this job as long as she wants to do it.
Yeah.
So like finding things that like on paper is like, hey, this is, you know, a big commitment, but like, what would we rather spend our money on than the peace and the ability to still pursue what we want to pursue? So like trying to make decisions like that and look at it zoomed out to where it's like, we want our family to be, we want to be able to have a healthy family, even though we don't have a traditional schedule.
Yeah.
We got weird hours.
If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice on marriage that you know now that you didn't, I mean, there's some things you can't know until you know.
Yeah.
What would be the thing that you see marriage now a little bit differently than what it was 4 or 5 years ago?
One thing, I mean, the thing that I learned immediately when we got married was just how selfish I am.
Yeah.
Like because I never had, we didn't live together until we got married. So like there's, even just starting to live together, you start to feel like, oh yeah, I can't just leave whenever I want. Like it's a decision. Like it's like, so I guess it would be related to that. It would be like, hey, work on just being aware of your selfishness and catching yourself when you're making a decision that affects this person you love. And I think now I'm better about it because I think I just didn't expect that. I think I didn't expect to be like, oh yeah, I just do whatever I want. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know like what advice that translates to, but that was definitely the thing you realize about yourself.
Yeah. Oh, no question. So if people want to follow you at Andrew Stanley on Instagram,
Andrew
is that the
W.
best place?
Stanley.
Oh, Andrew W. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who's
I don't know.
the person without the W?
I don't know on Instagram who it is, but
Okay.
I'm AndrewStanleyComedy.com. I wanted AndrewStanley.com. It's a British photographer.
Oh,
I reached out to him, probably 8 years ago. to be like, hey man, I don't know if you're using this or like I could buy it from you. And he sent me the nicest message. He's like, Andrew, I watched some of your comedy. You're very funny. I'm not interested in selling my domain.
At least.
But so also, if you're ever in the UK and need a photographer, that guy's great. AndrewStanley.com.
He should co-brand to where you
divided.
Get the pictures. Yeah, just divide it down the middle.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, maybe I'll get him to do some headshots for me.
There you go.
Yeah. But AndrewStanleyComedy.com and Andrew W. Stanley on social media. Special is going to be coming out later this year. We're not sure where yet, but if you follow me, you'll know. If you want to hear the boob job stuff,
it's funny.
That's in the special.
It's really funny.
But yeah, thanks for having me. This is a blast.
No, we love you. We're great fans.
Yeah.
And here's one of the things we're trying to do here at Change the Odds is we can't guarantee a perfect marriage, but there are some things that we can do to raise your chances of having a successful marriage.
Sure.
And one of the reasons we're cheering you on, not only do we care about you, but you're in an industry that sometimes marriage can be a struggle. So the idea that you can show a different way is one thing that we can't wait to see. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.